Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Greg Young, and I'm coming to you live one more time from Davenport, Florida, with my morning life wake ups. And this morning, I'm going to be chatting about learning how to become an excellent communicator, because strongly believe in that being able to communicate with people in a positive way and being able to communicate with people in ways to where you can reach them, then you can make a difference in their life. If you can communicate with them, then you can reach them, and then you can allow them to see the things that you're trying to show them, or that you're trying to give them advice on, or whatever. But if you don't learn how to be able to communicate with them in an excellent way to where they can understand where you're coming from and what you're saying to them makes sense to them, then they're not going to have no belief within what you're saying. It has no value to them. But when you know how to communicate with someone in an excellent way and an effective way to where you can reach them and what you're saying makes sense to them and it causes them to think, now they will believe you more in what you're saying, and then they will have more integrity and respect for you within the way that you communicate with them. Because I strongly believe, I'm a strong believer of that communication is the key to being able to reach other people in the time when they're going through certain things in life and their ups and downs and their financial struggles and their situations. If you're able to communicate with them on a level to where they can relate to what you're saying, now they can see where you're coming from, and now they understand certain situations that is going on in their life, because you can give them light on their situation, maybe by being able to communicate with them in a way to where your situation may be similar to theirs, and now they can relate to you. But anytime you're able to communicate with a person on a level to where they can relate to you, and you're an excellent communicator when it comes to communicating with people, then now you can reach more people. Now you can teach more people. Now you can make a difference in the world. And that's why, communication to me is the key to building good relationships with people. Because if you can communicate with a person in a good way, now you can build a good relationship with that person. You can build a good friendship relationship with that person, because you all can communicate on a level to where you understand each other. You understand where that person is coming, and that person understands you where you're coming from. So that's why I believe that being an excellent communicator is the key to being able to make a difference in people's lives, to make a difference in the world, because you cannot reach people if you cannot teach people, and you cannot teach people if you cannot reach people. But the only way you can teach people and reach people is being able to become an excellent communicator when it comes to communicating with people, because of the simple fact that when you're communicating with someone, you excuse me, you always want to have that attitude to where you are able to communicate with them in a way to where you can reach them within whatever situation that they have going on in their life. And you don't know until you communicate with them, but you have to communicate with them on an excellent level. You have to be an excellent communicator. And if you're not an excellent communicator, then you can't reach people, you can't teach people. So you have to learn how to become that excellent communicator and communicate with people in a positive way to where you can uplift them and give them the right advice and not the wrong advice, and be able to communicate with them on a level to where they understand where you're coming from. See, people that are similar and that have similar backgrounds can communicate with certain people that have the same type of background, that come from the same type of growing up atmosphere. Someone that grew up average can communicate with someone that grew up average, because they can relate to each other. Someone that grew up poor can communicate with someone that grew up poor because they can relate to each other. They can relate to each other within their struggles that they had growing up poor. And now within their communications that they're having within each other can give each other advice on how to get past all these things that they went through in their life growing up poor. And now the communication between the two people can create a good relationship within those two people as a friendship because they understand each other. They kind of came from the same sides of the railroad track, if that makes any sense. Because you cannot relate or communicate with someone that's not on your level. And that's why you have to be an excellent communicator in order to be able to understand who's on your level and where the communication lies that can create excellence in a conversation. And anytime you're communicating with people, in order to be an excellent communicator, you got to always be communicating with someone to where you're giving them advice to where it can add value to their life and whatever they're trying to achieve. Or you can give them advice to communicate with them in an excellent way to help them out with their struggles or whatever they're going through in life. You always got to find a way to communicate with people on an excellent way of communicating, and you have to become an excellent communicator because you can reach people. And if you can reach people, you can teach people. But if you can't reach people, you can't teach people. If you can reach people, you can change people. But that all comes within you having excellent communication skills. So that's why you have to learn how to be an excellent communicator. And that's why when you're communicating with someone in a conversation, you have to watch what you say because you never know what that person has been through. You don't want to communicate with them and you don't want to say nothing in a way to where you offend that person by what you're saying. And that's why in order for you to become an excellent communicator, you got to become an excellent listener. Because if you can listen to what people are saying and now you know where they're coming from, now you can communicate with them on an excellent level because you understand where they're coming from. And then in the same way within a relationship, you got to learn how to become an excellent communicator with your significant other, because now when things are going on with your significant other, now you know because you know how to communicate with her or him in an excellent way to where you all can understand each other. Because you cannot, when you're having problems in your relationship, if you don't know how to be an excellent communicator, you cannot solve those problems because you don't see the problem, because you don't feel like it's a problem going on, because you're not an excellent communicator and you don't have the understanding to be able to understand where this particular person is coming from. But like I said, in order to become an excellent communicator, you got to be a great listener. You got to be able to listen to what people are saying and then give your feedback based upon your opinion in a positive way to how you can help them within their particular situation. But you cannot help them if you're not an excellent communicator, because you cannot communicate with them if you don't learn how to become an excellent communicator. And how you learn how to become an excellent communicator, you become an excellent listener. Because if you learn to listen to what people are saying, now you can understand where they're coming from, no matter what situation that they're in life. It may be a situation that they're going through in a financial situation, and they're sitting down and they're explaining to you all the problems that they're having within their financial situation. But if you're not a great listener and you're not listening to what they're saying, then when the time comes for you to give your feedback and be an excellent communicator, you don't know what to say because you were not listening to what they were saying. So now you cannot give them a conversation that's going to add value to what they're going through, or that's going to help them get through what they're going through. So you have to learn how to be a great listener before you can become an excellent communicator. because that's the most important thing. When you listen to what people say, now you know how to respond to the things that's going on in their life. But if you're always talking and never listening, you're not a great communicator. A great communicator listens to what a person has to say, and then they give their feedback to that person based upon, what that person said, and based upon how they can give that person advice. But if you're not an excellent communicator, you cannot do that. And I believe that this holds true. In order for you to be successful in anything in life, you have to learn how to be an excellent communicator in order to be able to communicate with people so you can get to the next level in life. Because say, for instance, you're working a 9 to 5 and you're trying to get a promotion on the job. If you're not a great communicator and being able to communicate with all the people on the job that you have to interact with each and every day, then you're not going to get that promotion because you don't know how to communicate and talk to people in a positive way and be able to uplift them and keep them, with a positive mindset to keep moving on strong. Then you're not going to be able to get that promotion. And it's the same way in business. If you're not a great communicator and a great listener in business, you're not going to be successful because you're going to be one of those people that think you know it all and can't nobody tell you nothing. So now you're not going to get nowhere in life because you're not allowing yourself to open up your mind and listen so you can have a great feedback and be able to communicate with them in an excellent way. And this is what we need to realize. A lot of people don't get ahead in life and don't get what they deserve out of life because they're not great listeners. If you're a great listener, then you can become an excellent communicator. But if you don't know how to listen to what someone is saying or how someone is feeling in a particular time or situation, then you cannot communicate, you cannot relate. Say like if you've never struggled in life, you cannot communicate with someone about their struggle. You cannot communicate with them on an excellent way about their struggles if you never had the struggle in life. Now, if you have been through struggles in life and someone is going through struggles at a particular time, now you can communicate with them on that level because you listen to what they're saying, and then now you can give your feedback because based upon what they're saying within their struggles, you probably went through the same struggles in life, and now you can communicate with them and give them advice on how to rise above their struggles. But the most important thing, you got to be a great listener, because if you're not a great listener, you cannot become an excellent communicator. And that's the thing, a lot of people will talk, but they never listen to anything anybody says. And then that's why they're never able to add value or they're never able to help anybody because they're not great listeners. But you have to become a great listener in order to become a great communicator. And that's where it lies. So what I'm saying to you this morning is that if you're not a great listener, then you cannot become a great communicator. So what I'm challenging you to do is to start listening more to what people say and talk less. And then once you listen and you absorb what they say and you understand what they say and where they're coming from, now you can communicate with them on an excellent level. And you can become that excellent communicator. But you cannot get ahead in life if you don't learn how to listen and become an excellent communicator when it comes to giving back feedback, or when someone is communicating with you, you got to be able to hold a conversation that is gonna add value to what they're communicating about. If you cannot communicate on a level to where you can add value to every situation when you're in a conversation of communicating, then you're not an excellent communicator. So that should tell you that you need to work on your communication skills, because what we must learn, if we can develop excellent communication skills, we can accomplish anything that we want in life. Because if we learn how to talk to people and communicate with people, we can reach people. We can convince people. We can do the things that we need to do to live our daily lifestyle. But if we don't know how to communicate with people in an excellent way, then we can't reach nobody. We can't teach nobody. And we can't even teach ourselves if we don't know how to communicate, in an excellent way. But you have to be, the number one thing that makes you a great communicator is you have to become a great listener. So you have to be able to sit down and listen to what people are saying, when they're talking to you, whether it has value to what they're saying or not. Just listen and give your feedback. If you listen, then you can give an excellent feedback in a nice communicating way with communicating with excellence. But if you're not an excellent communicator, you cannot give a feedback with a communication of excellence. So this is what I'm saying to you this morning. I mean, if you're struggling in learning how to become an excellent communicator, then first of all, learn how to become a great listener. Because if you can learn how to become a great listener, then you can learn how to become a great communicator. But if you're always talking and never listening, then you're not a great you're not an excellent communicator, because all you want to do is talk, but you never want to listen. But sometimes in life, in order for you to learn things, you have to be a great listener. In order for you to learn how to communicate, you have to be a great listener, because if you're not listening to the conversation, you don't know how to give the feedback in an excellent communicating way. And that's the key to being able to rise above anything in life. Anything that you want in life, it requires communication skills. And if you learn how to have excellent communication skills and become an excellent communicator, now you can do what you set out to achieve in life, because now you know how to communicate with the people that have what you want, that can help you get what you want, that can teach you. Because you can never be taught nothing if you don't know how to listen. And you can never communicate with someone in a positive way if you don't know how to listen and take heed to what they're saying and be able to give feedback. Because the most important thing to you learning excellent communication skills is becoming a great listener. 99.9% of the people in life don't get ahead in life because they don't listen. They think that they know it all and can't nobody tell them nothing. And, they've been doing this for blah, 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 and they're excellent at doing it. But what you have to realize in life, when you become a great listener, you develop better communication skills. But if you're not a great listener, you cannot develop excellent communication skills, because you don't know how to communicate, because you was not listening to the conversation. You cannot hold a conversation with someone if you're not listening, because you don't know how to feedback. If you're out talking them when they're trying to talk and you never want to listen, then you're never going to develop these excellent communication skills. Because like I said, in order for you to become an excellent communicator, you got to become a great listener. So what I'm saying to you this morning, thanks for stopping by, Liesl, and is the fact of the matter that you have to know how to communicate in an excellent way in order to create excellence in your life and within your daily walk of life, and being successful in whatever you chose to be or do in life, because it all revolves around you being able to communicate with the next person. Because if you cannot communicate with a person on a respectable way, then you're not going to get to the level in life to where you want to be. You got to be a great listener in order to become an excellent communicator. If you don't know how to do that, then you're not going to get where you want to go in life, and you're not going to accomplish what you're looking for out of life if you don't learn how to become an excellent communicator. Back in, my mama used to always say, don't always be too quick to always talk before you listen to what someone has to say. Because if you judge a situation before you know what it's all about, then you're not an excellent communicator, because you took what you wanted out of the conversation and you made it your own within the way that you felt like it should be. And that's not the way it should be. When you're an excellent communicator and you're an excellent listener, you listen to what someone is saying and you understand where they're coming from. And if you can understand where they're coming from, you can communicate with them, and you can bring them to the level to where you can help them. But if you don't know how to listen to them, you cannot communicate with them and you cannot help them. You cannot help nobody if you're not an excellent communicator. You have to know how to communicate with people in order to get along in daily life. Every time you walk out that door and you go somewhere, whether it's to the store or wherever it is, or whether it's shopping, when you run across people, you got to know how to communicate with them. But the only way you're going to be able to become an excellent communicator and know how to communicate with them is that you've got to become a great listener. Because when you become a great listener, that makes you develop excellent communication skills. And that's what we need to learn how to do, is learn how to become an excellent communicator. Because when you can communicate with someone, you can reach someone. But if you cannot communicate with someone, you cannot reach someone. You cannot help someone. If someone is going through something and they need your help, then the first thing that they need you to do is to sit down and listen to what they're saying. And then once you sit down and you listen to what they're saying, now you can communicate with them on an excellent level, and you can give them the advice that they need to help them. But you cannot help them if you don't know how to be a great listener. So when you learn how to become a great listener, that develops you into an excellent communicator, because you are what you listen to and what you're able to absorb. It creates a conversation of communication. And if you're listening to what someone is saying, now you know how to communicate with them on an excellent level to where you can give them the advice that they need so they can move forward, or give them the advice that they need to help them out in that day within that situation. Say for instance, if somebody has a problem going on and they bring it to you and then they communicate it to you, but you're sitting up there and you're not listening, and you're trying to give them advice before they even finish talking, and you're trying to out-talk them, then you're not going to be able to help them because you're not listening. A lot of times when people bring problems to you, they don't really want you to be the problem solver, but they just want you to be the person to be able to give them some advice on an excellent communicating way to where they can understand, what they're going through and understand how they can change their situation for the better. But you cannot help them change their situation for the better if you're not listening. But when you're listening to what people are saying, now you can communicate with them. But if you don't listen to them, you cannot communicate with them in a level to where you can give them the advice that they're looking for. So what I'm saying to you in my morning life wake-ups this morning is learn how to become an excellent communicator. But the only way you can learn how to become an excellent communicator, you got to become a great listener first. Because if you don't listen, then you can't give advice. The blind can't lead the blind. And what I mean by that, if you're talking when somebody's trying to communicate to you and you're not listening, you can't give them no advice because you're not listening. You're trying to out-talk that person. You're trying to show that person your way, but you're not listening to what they're going through. You're not taking their advice, and you're not, balancing out the two within your thoughts and your thinking pattern process and their thinking pattern process. If you have excellent communicating skills with that person, now you and that person can solve that problem together. You can give that person advice to solve their problem, because you have listened and now you can communicate back with them in an excellent way. But you have to know what to say and when to say it. And the only way you will know how to communicate with people and when to interact is by listening. If you're not a great listener, you're not a great communicator. If you're not a great listener, you won't become an excellent communicator. That's just the bottom line. And that's what we need to realize. We need to sit back. I challenge you, if you have a problem with sitting back and being able to listen to people so you can communicate with them on an excellent way, I challenge you to just sit back and just listen to what people have to say. And then once they've said what they have to say, now you give your feedback, because you never know what a person is going through until you sit down and you listen. You never know what advice you can give a person until you sit down and you listen to what they have to say or what's going on in their life. And don't look at it like there's no value to what they're saying. Everybody that you communicate with on a daily basis can add some type of value to your life. And it doesn't matter how old they are. A little bitty child can add value to your life if you just watch and listen to what they say and not think that because they're a child, they don't know nothing. Because a lot of people miss out on a lot of knowledge in life by not listening, because they feel like they know it all. And you should never feel like you know it all, and you should never feel like you know so much to where you can't grow, you can't learn nothing else. Because you can learn something from a baby if you just watch what they do in the way that they do it. You can learn something from somebody each and every day, but you have to be able to know how to become that great listener so you can become that excellent communicator. If you cannot listen, then you cannot communicate with people. And that's just the bottom line. So that's what we have to realize. We have to develop our minds into listening more and talking less. Because if we develop our minds into listening more and talking less, we gain a lot more knowledge. And then now we can take that knowledge and communicate it elsewhere. And now we become that excellent communicator. And now there's nothing in this world that you cannot achieve, because you have that excellent communicating skills and you know how to interact with people and communicate with people in order to be able, to reach them. You cannot teach them if you cannot reach them. And that's the bottom line. And the only way you can teach them is by and reach them is by listening to them. And now you can communicate according to what they're saying and what they have going on in life. A lot of people right now don't get too far in life because they don't listen. You'll tell them to do something a certain way, and then they'll say, oh no, I'm going to do it my way because I know my way is better, and my way has been working for such and such. But you have to look at it. Is your way really working? Just think about it. Is your way really working? Is your way advancing you to where you want to be, or is your way keeping you where you're at? If your way is keeping you where you at, then that means you got to learn how to become a better listener so you can develop excellent communication skills so you can get to the next level in life to where you want to be. Because if you don't know how to communicate with people in life, how to listen to people in life, you're never going to get ahead in life. You're never going to get to the next level in life. You're never going to get what you deserve out of life. If you don't learn how to become a great listener, then you can become an excellent communicator. But it all lies within you, within how you perceive things and how you sit down and you listen to what people are saying. So I'm challenging you this morning, learn how to become a great listener so you can develop excellent communicating skills and become an excellent communicator. And now you can reach people and you can teach people, and now you can make a difference in people's lives just by being able to listen to what they're saying and now you can communicate with them and give them the advice that they need in order to be able to move on to the next level. But you cannot give them the advice that they need in order to be able to move on to the next level if you don't know how to communicate with them. So I'm saying to you this morning, in my morning life wake-ups, learn how to become an excellent communicator, because communication is the key to your success or failure in life. Believe that. If you're a great communicator, then you can do great things in life. If you suck at communicating, you're not going to get far in life, because you have this thing in your head that everything you say is right. And nobody knows more than you and all these different things. So stop being a know-it-all and start listening to people and learn how to become an excellent communicator. And now you can rise above certain situations in life. When you find yourself in a difficult situation, if you know how to listen to somebody, they can help you get out of it. But if you're not a great listener, you cannot become an excellent communicator. So that's what I'm saying to you this morning in my morning live wake up. So, and I hope and pray that you all got something out of that is inspiring to you, that inspires you from this day forward to learn how to become an excellent communicator so you go far in life. Once again, my name is Greg Young, coming to you live from Davenport, Florida, with my morning live wake ups. But I got a call to action. You know, I have this brand new product on my website called Skin Tech, and it's at thismakessense.com. Click the link below. But this product, you spray it in your hand, you rub it in. Once it dissolves, you know, it protects you from viruses. It cleans, protects, and moisturizes, and it protects you from viruses, bacteria, harmful chemicals for up to 4 hours. So what it is like an invisible glove. So if any of you all want to keep yourself protected for up to 4 hours each and every day, and then you just apply it again for 4 more hours, and you can keep yourself protected throughout the whole day, click the link below at thismakessense.com and check it out on my website. I have it on there today. It's ready for you to pre-order. So just check it out. And also I want to give you, a couple of gifts, because I have them on my website too at thismakessense.com. And I don't know if you need help with paying your bills or not, but I have a bill negotiator on there that helps you save on your bills. And it negotiates your bills for you, and you don't pay anything unless you save. But when you save, when Bill Genius saves for you and negotiates your bills, it makes your bills way less than what you normally would have paid. Because I can tell you right now, me and my wife been using it, and for the last 12 to 24 months, Bill Genius has helped us save over $1,700 on our bills. So, and I know everybody needs help with paying their bills. So click the link below, get the Bill Genius, and start saving money today. And then I also have an iGo free travel website membership on there for you, which is free for me to give to you, free for you to keep and use forever at no cost to you. But it's there. Click the link below and get your free gifts as an appreciation from me to you for tuning into my morning live wake-ups. I really and truly appreciate all your likes, your comments, your shares, and your feedbacks, because that lets me know that I'm making a difference. That lets me know that I'm doing something positive and I'm reaching people. And that's what my mission is to do, is to reach people and create change in the world. So do me a favor, like, comment, and share on this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I got a lot of great things on there. But like I said, once again, my name is Greg Young, coming to you live from Davenport, Florida. And I just want to say, if you're going out to work this morning, drive safe on the highway, or maybe you're not even going to work. If you're going out this morning, period, drive safe on the highway. And then when you get to work, work safe. And then, just learn how to have excellent communicating skills. Learn how to become an excellent communicator, and you'll go far in life. So I just want to thank each and every one of you all for stopping by my morning live this morning. And I just want to say thank you all, and God bless you all, and have a good day, and goodbye.